There's a different feeling when adjusting the minutes and hours hand on this watch. This is a watch that they partnered with Felipe Massa to design. On the top right, you can see that there is an interesting design on this pusher over here. Gonna do a tour of this RM11 FM Dubail Edition. FM stands for Felipe Massa. He's a famous race car driver, and RM loves to partner up with these extreme sports people such as race car drivers, golf players, tennis players, etc. You can see here on the dial that it does say RM11 FM, and this is one of the many varied editions for FM Felipe Massa. You can see here on the side of the case, it actually does say Dubail Limited. Dubail is the name of the store in Paris, France. I believe it's a retail for Richard Mille. They only made 30 of these. Before I get into the watch, I am going to show you the paperwork for this. This is the Richard Mille Approved Used Watch Certificate of Authenticity. It also comes with a instruction booklet type thing here. That is the paperwork that this watch comes with, starting with a condition test. Okay, so usually I like to start at the bottom of the case. And so you can see here that this is made of brushed titanium. And RM is known for these, what kind of screws are these? I forget the name of these screws, but we can find the name of these screws. But they're known for having these screws all around the front of the bezel. So it is brushed titanium all the way around. You can see it's in perfect condition. On the top left over here, you can see that there's even more brushed titanium over here. And I'll show you more on what that looks like. But if you go to the side of the watch, you can see that this brushed titanium is going vertical. And as you go up towards the bezel, this brushed titanium is now going horizontal. Top left, you can also see on the side of the case, this is a very, very thick case. This is a tourbillon movement. So the tourbillon movement usually is a bigger movement, and it is a chronograph as well. So there's a lot going on inside of this watch. On the top right, you can see that there is an interesting design on this pusher over here. And on the top of the pusher, it says start stop, which usually should be the function for the chronograph. As we go up towards the bezel, perfect titanium over there. On the side, you can see there's this really cool design on the crown. There's a rad accent, and I believe this is made of rubber to match what's on the dial and also the strap of the watch. On the bottom right, same design as the top pusher over here. And this bottom pusher says reset or flyback. And I'll show you that function in a little bit. Going to the strap over here, this is a red strap with white accents, and it is vented to make it really, really comfortable and breathable for the wearer. And this is, it looks like a clasp over here, but as we undo this clasp, you can see that it is actually a double clasp, as you can see here. And it kind of has like a magnetic feel when you close the clasp to, or it's made of springs actually. There's springs inside. So you can see that this metal, when you close it, it actually like snaps towards the inside to give you confidence that it's fully closed or fully open. Okay. Now going through the rest of the strap here, the other side also has, it's also a red rubber strap made with white accents and vents over here as well. Here are the adjustment holes. So depending on what size your wrist is, you have this whole range of sizes to choose from. Now that we have this clasp open, we can see the back of the watch, and you can see that on the very top, it says Richard Mille. On the right side over here, it does say water resistant 30 meters. On the bottom, it says RM11 AHTI 093. That is the reference number. And this is a watch that they partnered with Felipe Massa to design. Over here, it says it's Swiss made. And so that is the overall design of the watch and look of the watch, as well as the condition. And show you the functions of the watch now. So there is a crown over here, and I believe this is not a screw down crown. Most tourbillons are not screw down crowns. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this out to the outermost position and then start adjusting the minutes hand just like this. Okay, so we're gonna look as close to the dial as possible when we're adjusting this minutes hand, but I'm pretty sure that once we get towards midnight, this 28 is the date, and it's going to change from 28 to 29 exactly at midnight. So let's go ahead and see that happen. We can also see the hours hand over here moving along as it should. Okay, so that did not change to 29. I think that was because it was at noon. Gonna go ahead and keep rotating it. There's a different feeling when adjusting the minutes and hours hand on this watch. It's a way smoother feeling than most other watches, even other than Rolex and Patek, which are at the peak of horology and timekeeping. So there's just a smoother feel when it comes to working with this watch. Okay, so you can see now the date is at 29. It's interesting to see that when we crossed midnight, we couldn't see the date window, so we couldn't see that date window change. So I felt like that was pretty interesting. Gonna set this watch to 6:30 now. It's always safe to set the watch to 6:30 before you readjust it. Gonna reset that crown, pull it out to the first position, see what happens here. So we can see the date changing now from 29 all the way to every single date. This date wheel is running really, really smooth. And then I'm gonna keep it going until it hits 30 so that we have a full 31-day date sweep. So I'm gonna push this back in. Now I'm gonna test the chronograph function over here. This one says start stop. So if I press this, you can see the chronograph hand starting to move. I really like this red tip over here. It does match the edges of the dial over here, as well as some of the fonts. And of course, the red accent on the crown, the red font on the pushers, and of course the red strap over here as well. If I click this again, it'll stop the chronograph, and I click on this flyback or stop button, it'll reset all the way exactly at midnight, as you can see there. Now, those are all the functions of the watch. There are also some sub-dials with chronograph functionality. Most of this chronograph functionality on most of these watches, they just tell you like the hours and minutes elapsed when you're running your chronograph. The last function I want to show you is the lume on this watch. So let's see what this lume looks like over here. And just off the bat with this black light, I can see that most of the lume is on the tip or on the tips of the hour markers and the tips of the hands. So this is what it would look like if you're in the dark, just like this. Gonna light this up again so you can see it, but that's it over there. That's all we have over there. There's no pillow for this watch, so I'm gonna show you a standard wrist roll with just my hand over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this over. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Okay, and that's it. Thanks so much.